Chapter 1. It's not about you. It was a cold, dismal, dark December morning at Harvard Business School. As I sat in my last class of a gut-wrenching course called Technology and Operations Management, otherwise known as TOM for short. The curriculum was such a grind that 9 months after the conclusion of the course, babies were born to Harvard Business School couples. And most were named Tom. The course curriculum consisted of confounding content such as debottlenecking, maximizing efficiencies, stripping down P&Ls, and a variety of other business speak concepts that would propel us to become captains of industry, or so we thought. Having just completed the final exam, a 4-hour slugfest, we were awaiting the arrival of our esteemed professor, Stephen Wheelwright, who would be delivering his final words of wisdom. With bated breath and fingers poised above our keyboards, we readied ourselves to capture the secret of success. We leaned in as Professor Wheelwright intoned solemnly, "You will never be fully successful in life." Yes, yes, we stammered hungrily, typing out the first part of his sentence. "Unless you are a success at home." We were stunned. You could have heard a pin drop. Indeed, I could sense that many of my classmates were genuinely disappointed. These weren't pearls of wisdom that would deliver the keys to our kingdom. What does home have to do with anything? You will never be fully successful in life unless you are a success at home. But amidst the disquieting discontent of my classmates, something stirred deep inside me that remained dormant for more than 20 years. It was the excruciating, soul-bearing realization, grown over time, that my success, in fact, was not about me. It was about others. In this case, my parents, my wife, my 3 children, and maybe, perhaps, my extended family here at the prep. Chapter 2, also entitled, It's Not About You. Chapter 2 starts out on a basketball court, but this story doesn't involve me. No, my hoop dreams died in the prep's Memorial Gymnasium. Just over there, in November 1983, when I was cut from the JV basketball team as a junior. But when one door closes, another one opens. And so I learned to appreciate basketball through others. Most particularly in the mid-1990s, I appreciated a hoop star named Michael Jordan. Now, most of you know Michael Jordan primarily through his shoes, but I got to watch him in his prime. In the deciding game of what would be the 5th of his 6 championships, the Bulls were tied 86-all with the clock ticking down. As the announcer stated, and as everyone in the world knew, it was Michael Jordan time. After all, to that point in his career, he'd already hit an amazing 22 game-winning shots, including a buzzer beater in Game 1 of that finals series. So with 5 seconds remaining in the game, Michael Jordan leapt in the air for his game winner, and he did the unimaginable. He passed the ball. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of his generation, passed the ball to his teammate Steve Kerr, who promptly swished an open 17-foot jumper to win the game and the series. You see, even Michael Jordan knew it was not all about him. It was all about being a great teammate. Ask any of his teammates and they'll say that Michael Jordan's lasting legacy couldn't be measured on a stat sheet or put in a trophy case. No, Michael Jordan's lasting legacy is that he made others around him even better. And once he realized that, his championships started to pile up. Now, since I'm surrounded by a sea of student athletes, I'll move from the world of athletics to the world of intelligence, specifically emotional intelligence, to reinforce once again that it's not about you. Jenny Jerome was Winston Churchill's mother, and she often had the occasion to socialize with British statesmen. On various occasions, she dined with numerous prime ministers, including two named William Gladstone and Benjamin Disraeli. When questioned about her impressions of the two men, Ms. Jerome made the following remark, quote, "When I left the dining room after sitting next to Gladstone, I thought he was the cleverest man in England. But when I sat next to Disraeli, I left feeling that I was the cleverest woman." End quote. Gentlemen, there will be times in your life when you may think you are the smartest person in the room. And in these times, every fiber in your body will strain to show off that St. John's Prep education. Fight that urge. Embrace your humility. Strive to be interested, not interesting. You see, the secret to your success is not to make everyone think you're the smartest in the room. It's to make others around you feel like they are the smartest in the room. Just like Michael Jordan made others around him even better. Strive to be that unselfish teammate, that collaborative colleague, because your success is not really about you. It's about making others even better. Chapter 3, not so coincidentally, also entitled, "It's Not About You." My final chapter starts off with another cold December morning in the classroom, but instead of the student being me, this time the student was you. You may remember that during our Zavarian Brothers Founders Week celebration, I had the opportunity to recognize Brother Robert Sullivan, my former physics teacher here at the Prep and an indispensable mentor to me for over 25 years. He's buried about 100 yards from here in the sacred Zavarian Brothers graveyard. And it's truly an honor to extol his virtues while he's resting within earshot. When Brother Sullivan passed away your sophomore year, you may remember we canceled a school dance out of respect for his legacy. Let me remind you why. You see, gentlemen, every once in a long while, an individual will come into your life that interacts with you in a way that makes you feel like you are the most important person in the world. And if that person happens to be a colleague or a coach or a mentor, you will find yourself working harder, striving further, and reaching goals that you once thought unattainable. And in the course of these great efforts, when you fail, and you will fail, you know that person will be there to pick you up, to dust you off, and to gird you with the resilience to keep trying. Brother Sullivan was just that person to me, and to many, many, many others. Seek out the Brother Sullivans in your life and hold them dearly close to you. Over your lifetime, you may only have a handful of people like Brother Sullivan come into your life. Undoubtedly, a couple of them are seated in the parents section surrounding you. I know my parents, seated in that section today, have always been at the top of my list. Now, hearkening back in December, I closed my comments about Brother Sullivan by offering you a challenge. Let me remind you what that was. When you look for those Brother Sullivans in your life, look first within yourself. Because you know deep inside you, in places you don't want to talk about at parties, you have it in you to be that great son, that great husband, that great colleague, that great teammate, and that great mentor that inspires others to greatness. We've all got it in us. Like me, it may take you 20 or more years to find it, but you cannot spend 4 years at this school and not have it in you. As put forth by another Harvard Business School professor, Clayton Christensen, in his book called How Will You Measure Your Life? In, quote, in that final accounting, the only metrics that will truly matter are the individuals you've been able to help, one by one, to become better people, end quote. Because if you can become that man for others, if you can make others feel like the smartest people in the room, and if you can make others around you even better, when it comes time to measure your life, you will be the most successful man alive. And that, my friends, is all about you. God bless St. John's. God bless you. And God bless all the people that you will make even better. Amen.